a sip of this coffee first. How many likes do you think we can get for coffee? Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that first little song that I just played. With that, I'm curious. How many of you guys know what key I was just playing in? How many of you guys typically know what key you're playing in when you're just playing some random song that you learned off the internet? To me, knowing the key of the song, being able to find the key of the song and then jamming that key is probably one of the most important skills that a recording musician or a gigging musician, a producer, anyone like that, that is probably one of the most important skills you can have, in my opinion. Because if you're sitting around trying to figure out what key the song is in, or if you're trying to write parts and you're not even in the right wheelhouse, then you're just wasting time, in my opinion. So if you're like me, then you probably haven't always known what key you're playing in. You're probably self-taught, or you may have, looked up some tabs for a Metallica song or something like that, and that's just how you've learned. You've just been playing with the recordings of the songs. You've never really had to worry about switching the key of a song. I did have a guitar teacher for a year or so, but he didn't have any music theory knowledge either. So we would just learn songs together, we would cover those songs together, and that's how I learned how to play guitar. I just worked on mainly technique and like how to hold the pick or how to fret the strings, stuff like that. And I'm super thankful for all of that knowledge and all of that experience. However, I don't think it's nearly as useful as knowing what key the song is in, or understanding what key a song is in, or even what key is. So all this reminds me of a story that happened to me when I was in college. So my sophomore year of college, I tried out for the worship team at the Baptist Student Union at the University of Mississippi. To try out, all I had to do was learn the lead parts for a couple of songs, play with the track before they started practice, and they let me in the band. However, whenever it came time to rehearse the next day for the set that we were going to have next week, that's when problems started to arise, and it started to present themselves that I didn't understand what the key was of the song that we were playing. We're going into the first couple of songs, I'm starting in on some of the lead parts, and everyone's kind of just like looking around really confused as to like why everything sounds so bad. We tried the song a couple more times, and then quickly someone's just like, "Hey Justin, you're playing in the wrong key." Me, I didn't really know what they were talking about. I was kind of like, no, I learned the song exactly the way it's originally played. I'm doing just fine. And not that I was defensive or anything, but I was totally kind of confused. And then before I know it, I had 2 or 3 people trying to coach me on what the key of the song was and how I was playing in the wrong spot, and just none of it made sense to me at all. It was super frustrating. And then I knew from there on that like I was pretty good at playing guitar, but I wasn't super well versed in my music knowledge, and I didn't really understand what was happening in music. So with that being said, I wanted to make this video and show you guys how, with just that little clip I made, how knowing what key that song was in allowed me to write a lot of parts, and then it also allowed me to kind of thicken up the mix a little bit by just like basically droning on the tonic. I'll get into what that is later. But a lot of the chords I played, I was just hitting the one the entire time. And just with that, it helped fill up a little space in the mix. But yeah, let me grab a guitar and I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about. Okay, so if you haven't figured out yet, that song was in the key of G. And so the chord progression pretty much that entire time was just... And the way I would go about figuring out what key that is I would listen to that chord progression, no matter what the song is, it can be any song, and I will try to find a triad. So this is a G triad. So I would try to find that triad. It's a power chord basically is what I would call it. Here's like a G power chord. Here's this one just a little higher. Same chord. And then also if I go up here, out of tune, I'm sorry, but it's still same chord. So I would try to find where this sounds like it fits no matter what. So amongst these chords, that probably sounds a little messy, but you get the point. That triad sounds good no matter where I play it in the song. It sounds like it fits. If I were to play those same chords and then play an A triad, which is just 2 frets up, sounds way out of key. That's not in the right key. Just an F, not right. Even a C. C sounds weird. If you can listen to the chord progression, listen to the song, I can do this with any song, and you just try to find where your triad sounds the best, then you know what key the song's in. So I know that the tonic, which I mentioned earlier, is the 1 of the song. That's a G, so it's a G tonic in this song. And once I have that, then I can figure out lead lines pretty much anywhere. I can write stuff anywhere, as long as I stay up here or up here. So I know that that's not really the most, I guess, technically correct way of explaining what I do, but I just try to listen for where that 1 note, the 1. So if you're in the key of G, the 1 is the G. If you're in the key of A, the 1 is the A, so on and so forth. I try to figure out where that note sounds like it fits no matter what. So if we're playing the C, D, E, G chord progression that we had earlier, then that G tonic is going to sound like it fits no matter what. I know to a lot of people who are much more knowledgeable than I am that may be more of a restrictive way of playing guitar. You kind of find yourself in a box if you're not careful, and that's something I'm still having to work through. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope my explanation made sense. Pretty much just find where that triad sounds good, and you can do a ton with that. You can pick out lead lines. You can layer higher chords with your lower chords to make them sound a little more thick or a little thicker. That's what I did in this mix. If you'll look at me just strumming on that 1 the entire time, if you tuck it underneath, it just sounds really good. You do that. You also saw me on my MIDI keyboard. I literally was just hitting the G, and then I had a G pad underneath the whole thing. So figuring out what key the song is in and then utilizing that to make your song sound thicker and to pick out different lead lines is a really, really useful skill. Probably one of the most useful skills that you can have in the studio or as a musician who needs to be able to pick out a key of a song really quickly. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please do like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want some more stuff about guitar videos and just production and mixing and all that good stuff. Peace, guys.